iti upadana karanam yatha cha bhutani bhumau iti guna pravaha guna prapancha. So it says, just like in the rainy season, the water comes on earth because of the sun. It is the sun which makes the clouds. And then in the heat, sun is that which evaporates the water. So then it takes it. So he is the cause. And just as it is the earth which is the support of every living being. Whether you are walking or you are running or lying down or sitting, you are on the earth. So earth is the basis, the foundation, support of every being. In the same way, this whole universe is existing within the Lord. He is the support, He is the cause, material cause as well as efficient cause. So whatever you see all around you, it has not happened by chance, not by Big Bang theory. Big Bang is there, but Big Bang was done by God. It did not happen accidentally. So it is caused by Him. And that's why He is the root cause. The universe is not existing independent of God. Because even if you find out that the universe came through Big Bang, the question still remains that who did the Big Bang and why it happened. Because there must be a cause for that. So that is Hari or Krishna or God which is mentioned here. He is the ultimate cause, Sarva Karan Karan. He is not caused by anything himself, but He is the supreme cause. So the universe also emanates from Him, Janmadashyata. Etat padam tad jagadatmanah param sakrit vibhatam savitur yatha prabha yatha savo jagrati supta saktayo dravya kriya jnana bheda brahmatyayah. So etat padam tad jagad atmanah param sakrit vibhatam savitur yatha prabha. This universe, it manifests from Him. He is the light, He is the source. Just like when the sun is there, then from the sun the light comes out. And just as the light is not different from Him, in the same way this universe is not different from Him. And just as when we are awake, our senses are functioning. When we go in deep sleep, and the senses are dysfunctional. In the same way, all this manifestation happens from Him, and at a particular time it will merge in Him. It's not only that the universe is created by Him, but it will also be destroyed by Him. It comes from Him and it is sustained by Him, and then it also merges back in Him. So in all the material objects and all the activities which are happening here, these are all manifestations of matter, but not different from Him. Dravya kriya jnana bheda brahmatyaya. So this variety which we see, ultimately at the subtle level, it's all coming from Pradhan. So these distinctions is also a sort of illusion, because same matter gets divided. Matter is our mind, our intelligence, our senses, they are made from matter. And the sense objects, which we are sensing or enjoying, they are also made from the same matter. And one becomes the enjoyer, another becomes the enjoyed. One becomes the consumer, other becomes the consumed. But really speaking, there is no distinction between them. The light is what gives the color to the objects, and with the eyes we see the color. But eye is also made from the light. So similarly we taste things which comes from water, and the tongue is also made from water. So therefore it says Dravya Kriya Jnana Bheda Brahma Atyaya. So really speaking, there is no distinction like that. So this universe, sometimes at the time of creation, it comes from Him. Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Jagat, that this universe is Vishnu Maya, and He is the Upadhan, just like the light comes from the sun. So one can of course say that Lord is eternal, then universe should also be eternal. Because if He is universe and He is eternal, then why the universe is not eternal? So he says that just like when you sleep, the senses don't function, and when you wake up, they function. All the senses are based in you. So Lord is not undergoing transformation. In the body we have the self, which is unchangeable, immutable, and the changes are happening in the body only. So the influence of the changes in the body do not influence the Atma, the soul. In the same way, the changes of the universe do not influence the Lord. So the universe is not different from the Lord, but Lord is different from the universe. The effect is not different from the cause, because it cannot exist outside the cause. Cause only transforms as an effect. But that does not mean that cause is not separate from the effect, because cause may be big, only one part of the cause can become the effect, another remains. So Lord is much more than universe. It's only one of His energy which manifests the universe. And because it is His energy, so therefore this universe is not different from Him. But He is more, therefore He is different also. Therefore universe can undergo changes and He can remain changeless. So therefore He gives this example of senses and the sleeping state. Yatha asavo jagrati supta saktaya. So there is change which occurs when we are awake, our senses, mind, etc. function. When we are in deep sleep, they don't function. But the soul remains same in both states. Although He is the foundation for these things to function. Without soul, these things do not function. So Lord is also described in the same way. So then he says, Yatha nabhasya bhratama prakasha bhavanti bhupana bhavanti nukramat evam pare brahmani shaktayastvam rajastama sattvamiti pravaha. So he said, just like in the sky there is sometimes cloud, sometimes darkness, and sometimes light. In the same way, so sometimes they are there and sometimes not there. change. So he says that in the same way there is a flow of Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, these three gunas of Prakriti, but they all are within the Supreme Lord. So just as sky or Akash is the basis, is the background in which there is cloud, there is darkness, there is daylight, but these things do not influence the sky. Whether there is a dark cloud or there is sunlight, the sky remains sky. It's not influenced by it. In the same way, the universe in the form of creation, dissolution, maintenance, sustenance, it all exists within the Lord. The Lord is not influenced by it. So this is another example he gives here. ननु गुणमयस्य विश्वस्य गुणातीतो हरिः कथं कारणम् नहि मृण्मयस्य घटस्य मृदतीतं वस्तु उपादान कारणं भवितुमर्हति. So again question he raises that this universe is made of gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and Lord is gunatit, he is beyond the gunas. So how can he be the cause of the universe? So just as if you have ornaments which are made of gold, then how can these ornaments may be caused by something which is beyond gold or other than gold? So if universe, the material, the matter which it consists is coming from the Lord, then he also is material. It's not that the ornaments are made from gold, but the thing by which the golden ornaments are caused by something which is beyond gold. How is that possible? Upadanatve cha harehe katham va nirvikaratvam. So either God is not the cause of the universe, and if he is the cause of the universe, if you insist that no, he is the cause, then he must also be undergoing changes. Otherwise, how can you make a golden ornament without making any changes in the gold? You take the gold, you heat it, give a shape to it, you change it. So either he is not the upadan, he is not the material cause, or he is not the cause, or he is the cause but he undergoes also change. So then he gives an example for that. Yatha abhratama prakasa nabsi drishyamana suryadeva bhavanti tatre viliyante cha suryadite purvena anusami. He said just like the clouds, darkness and light, they are all caused by the sun. The clouds are caused by the sun, the darkness is also caused by the sun, and the light is also caused by the sun. So these three are like Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, but none of them influence the sun. Sun remains the way it is. Himeyapi suryadeva bhavati yad vakshati. He says even snow happens because of the sun. Pranadibhi svavibhair gudhamanyo mandet suryam iva megh himopa ragiriti uparag sabdena dushta jivavishtam tamakhandameva tatra uchyate. So when he even quotes a statement from 10th Canto of Bhagavatam, It seems to say that the snow is coming from the sun. It's from 10th Canto, 84th chapter, 33rd verse. Verse is spoken by Narada, starting with Krishna. So he says, He Bhupa Suryo Megha Himadi Atitopi Yatha Tesham Upadan Karanam Tadapi Yatha Nirvikaro Bhavati Tatha Ityartha. Giving the example that just as sun is the cause, he is beyond the snow, yet he is the cause of it. Because ultimately the water which comes in the air has to be evaporated by the sun, and that freezes. So yathaiv abhradi rahite api surye karanatvad abhradayam santi achyute tathaiv harogun rahite api amushakti rajadya ityaya prakarana jagat pravaha. So just as the sun is the cause of these things, although these things don't exist inside the sun. The cloud, the snow, the rain is not inside the sun, but is caused by the sun. So in the same way, although Lord is devoid of the gunas, he is not material, there is nothing material in him, yet he is the cause of the energies in the form of rajas, tamas and sattva. तत्र यथा अभ्रतंसी सूर्यस्य शुद्ध ज्योति मात्रस्य न स्वरूपं दूरवर्ती मलिनः प्रकाशोऽपि न स्वरूपं तथैव हरेः रजस्तंसी शुद्ध चिन्मात्रस्य तस्य सत्त्वं च न स्वरूपम् इत्येव श्रीनारदस्य मते गुणमय जगदुपादानत्वं निर्विकारत्वं च सिद्धम्. So he says, just as sun which is pure light, it does not have this clouds, etc., or the light within it, light of cloud. In the same way, the rajas tamas, they don't exist in the Lord who is purely chinmatra, purely conscious being. So according to the opinion of Sri Narada, Bhagavan or the Supreme Lord is the cause of this universe, and yet he remains free from any transformations. Atmanaiva avaktiyamānena sagunam agunam srajasi harsi pasiti devir bhakshate. Later on the devas, they also pray to Krishna that you create, you destroy, you protect this universe which is made of the gunas, but you yourself are aguna, free from gunas or absent from the gunas. Yet udayastamayo vikrite mridi vyavrittitaditi sruti namo namaste akhil karanaya niskaranaya yad bhuta karaneti gajendrena ca karanasya tadeva adbhutatvam yadupadanatvepi nirvikaratvam vivarta amnikare yukti sadbhavat adbhutatvam nasyat. So he says that this is actually the wonderful characteristic of the Lord, that although he is free from the gunas, yet he is the cause of the gunas, and he remains without any changes or modifications in himself. The Advaitvadis who think that God is impersonal, has no form, they have a philosophy called Vivartavada. And Vivartavada means that this universe is not real, it only appears to be like this, just as you see, you can mistake a rope for a snake. So he says that in that explanation, then there is no speciality in God. It's only because of your illusion that you are seeing. Then God has no greatness in that. But when you say that this world is also real and it is energy of God and God manifests, then God has some very special quality that He is the cause of this universe and He does not undergo any change. All these two things are possible. So therefore this Vivartavad explanation is not very wonderful because it does not bring any greatness to God. Vyakhyatam tatraiva swami bhischa karnatvecha mridadi vad vikaram vareti namaskara. And then he now also refers to Sridhar Swami, wherein he also says that he is the cause but that does not undergo any changes. So in this way he has explained how the Lord is the cause and yet He remains unchanged. This is a very naughty issue of Indian schools of philosophy. Everybody tries to discuss this idea of God not being changing and being the cause of the universe. There's a lot of exercise which is done on this. In the different schools, they have subtle differences from each other, and basically this is one of the major differences. Whether it is Advaitavad, Visishtadvaitavad, Suddhadvaitavad, or Dvaitadvaitavad. Basically how the Lord is the cause and not undergoing any change. So we'll stop here.
I have a question in regards to the recommendation that it's enough to water the roots and there's no need to water the extra, which is given here. One could also give another logic that as devotees we want to do our seva as good as possible, and if there are any obstacles which could be removed by such a process is helpful. We accept everything which is helpful, just as when we are sick, we take medicine to remove the disease. We do not only depend on Krishna. So I'm asking, that it's not just a theoretical question because I'm still on the fence about the So what would be the how to deal with that? What would be the proper solution?
Well, we have to see what is an obstacle and who will remove it. Because in Bhakti, if you study, then only obstacle is offense. And that nobody has the power to remove it. Except either offense also means offense to devotees, offense to the name. So only they can remove. By doing any other verse, it is not going to be removed. So health is another thing. Health is related with physical body. This is one type. This is, we can also say this is one type of obstacle. But when we are thinking of some other obstacles, other than health, then the major obstacle is caused by offense.
So these subtle things, these are all subtle dealings. So they are not in Bhakti, they are not really so, we shouldn't give them so much importance.
Yeah, so if it is helping your health, then it's like medicine. Then.
But of course I don't know that.
So why? And even then it's not question that we worship. When you take medicine, you are not worshipping medicine. This example also has some discrepancy. We take medicine, but we are not doing our arati to the medicine, we are not praying to the medicine. Taking medicine and you are worshipping Krishna. So here we have to worship. So worship means surrender. So we can give respect to everybody, there is no problem. And there are two ways. One is to see, because in Bhakti Sundara Jiva Goswami has analyzed this, that you see these devas as devotees. And then you can pray to them to help for bhakti. Or they are to be seen as manifestation of God himself. So even if one does that, one has to have this proper perspective, proper understanding, because you cannot worship them independently. That is the main point. The point of this verse was that not that you don't give water to the root and worship it independently, or you are worshipping to root and worshipping that also independently. You have to know that they are connected to the root, and then you can take care. That is not a problem. That has to be kept in mind clearly. Because the idea is, Bhagavatam's basic principle is that there is only one tattva. See the key verse of Bhagavatam, Vadanti tat tattvadas tattvam jnanam advayam. And there is only one tattva, advayam. And everything, so whatever you do, you have to see that it is linked to that. As soon as you make anything independent, then it becomes problem, especially in bhakti. That's why I said that any process, whether it is Gyan, Yoga, Ashtanga, they are useless if they are not related to Bhakti, because now you are making two tattvas. Then there is Bhakti and then something else. And that's why those processes give result only when they are linked with Bhakti, mixed with Bhakti. So there is only one tattva, one reality. So that has to be kept in mind. So there are different moods and perspectives. Some people say, well, it is something physical is one thing and becoming an obstacle, and if you can take care, that is good. Otherwise, some other disturbance is coming, then you try to see it, that it is coming as a result of my past karma, or how to go through it. There is also theory that graha to karaka, suchaka na to karaka. These planets, they are only indicating that this is going to come, not that they are giving it. It's like you see some omen, like cat crossing your path. So it is not that because the cat is crossing the path and something bad is going to happen to you now if you go on journey, that cat is causing it. Cat is not the cause. Cause is something else, but cat is only an indicator that this will happen if this omen's pose is right. Then it only indicates. So don't become mad at cat. People become angry at cat. It's not that cat is giving the result. So in the same way, the grahas, they are not giving the result. They are only indicating. It's in your chart, and by reading the chart, you see how the karma phala is going to manifest. That's all. The graha does not have any power to change it. That is one theory.
Then how would the yagya, if that's the case, and the graha...
That's why I'm saying yagya, this, that, it is possible if you see it related with Krishna only, then actually he is doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
It is only he has the power. Then he can give power to this person or this yagya. That's why it is said that without bhakti, nothing works. So there also, if you are doing this puja to this Rahu or Ketu or whoever, then you have to see that it is Krishna who is giving energy to him to solve my problem.
So then better go directly to Krishna instead of...
Better you can go directly. So you can pray to him directly, or you can say that I don't want to pray, because I just want bhakti, and if this is coming, I just tolerate.
That's best.
In case of medicine, you don't have to pray, so the difficulty is not there. If there was prayer there, then you have to give up that also. So there are some people who don't take medicine also. That is probably because they say, well, if you don't do this, you don't do that also. Medicine you can take.
And Hanuman?
No one can.
Hanuman can protect us.
Yeah, why not? Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar.
I have a question. You know, nowadays in self-development, a big theme is that we are 100% responsible of everything that happens to us, even the choice of our parents, for example.
Choice of?
Of our parents. Just one example, whatever happens. And so I'm wondering, from listening to everything, how far does our responsibility really goes, because we say Krishna is the cause of all causes, or the gunas are influencing our action. So I'm wondering, like...
Well, what you have to do is that you have to know that Krishna is the cause, and you have to act as if you are responsible. This is what you have to balance in your mind. Because you can also say, well, he is the cause, so I don't have to do anything. So you have to act as if you are responsible for everything. But that should not make you proud. Some success comes and say, I am responsible, that's where the problem comes. So then you have to know that he is the cause. So you act as if you are the responsible person, but at the back of the mind and the front of the mind and also on the sides of the mind, you know that Krishna is there. So this way we remain humble. This is very important. So one of the problems of these things is that you are responsible and then you become very proud because of that. That is another downfall. Right.